it's a little difficult to hear. Okay, let's go through Lesbian Heaven. Everybody, would you like to go through Lesbian Heaven?
I ain't going through Lesbian Heaven. I don't understand that dumb shit.
No. We're gonna go through. It's gonna be real quick.
You tell me what it is.
Okay. Lesbian Heaven is well. Let me. I'm gonna describe it to you now. Hold on. Rico, hold on, man. We're gonna go through it right now. I made some slides about it. All right. We're talking about the High Power Podcast. We're talking about Princella's Lesbian Heaven, and we're going to protect the incompetent and irresponsible women, female, from endangering themselves by taking them out of the taking them away, pulling them away from men, because they have proven that they cannot sexually select for themselves, and so we're gonna put them out. So that's what Princella is all about. I agree. I know you don't, Rico, but I agree with that. Now, this is my opinion. This woman is going to create a zone of protection for the incompetent female selectors, which is needed, right? Because they've proven they cannot select for themselves, right? They cannot do it safely, right? They picking dudes that's going upside their head, that's, dealing their children and so on and so forth. They've proven that they can't do it. So that's what we need, because these types of females will not take self-accountability. They won't take it. They're like her, right? Hey, it's not me. It's the men. It's not me. It's not that I'm not, judging their character or whatever I need to do to make sure I get the type of man that's a man of integrity. No. It's not me. It's the men. The men are all messed up. Okay. So they don't want to take no accountability for their sexual selections. So they always have negative outcomes, right? Hold on. I agree. A compound of protection.
Take the fair use down so we can read the bottom. Just take that down for a moment.
Oh, okay.
So that they can read along with you.
Yeah.
It up a little bit.
A compound of protection should be created for these damaged females, right? They're damaged, right? They've been traumatized. They don't. But the problem is, now, everybody, we all have trauma, right? We're all damaged at some point, but the damaged people know that there's some work that we got to do to get ourselves back right and make us be able to have utility to be in a relationship, right? Damaged females, and no man or child should enter in. Yeah, no man or child should enter into this zone. It should be a zone. I agree with the zone. But she says these damaged women should be dealing with children. I say no, that shouldn't happen. This zone should be treated as a zone of radioactivity and should be avoided by anyone who wants to live in peace at all costs. That's my position. Okay. Now, her whole philosophy is built on this. Abraham Maslow, right? And Maslow said, and he had the Maslow's hierarchy, right? Hierarchy of needs. Maslow based his theory partially on his own assumptions about human potential and partially on his case studies of historical figures, right? This is case studies of historical figures. He wasn't even there. He didn't interview them. It's a case study of what he read about them or heard about them, right? Who he believed to be self-actualized. He believed, a lot of questionable words in here. He believed to be self-actualized, whatever that means, including Albert Einstein and David Henry Thoreau. Oh, those are big names. It must mean something, right? Okay. Here's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Okay. At the bottom, you need to breathe, you need food, you need water, you need sex, you need sleep, you need homeostasis, and you need waste management, right? Then you got safety up here, right? Security of body, employment, resources, morality, the family, health, property. Then you have love and belonging, friendship, family, sexual intimacy. Then you got esteem, self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, respect by others. Self-actualization, morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts. So this is Maslow's. So this is the basis of what she's always teaching, right? All right, so I'm going to break it down just a little bit. Okay, so these from here to here, the top 4 levels, they're designed for community living, right? The bottom level, you don't need to be in a community to live with this, right? These are just your physiological needs. That's what you need to be alive, right? You don't need it. The rest of this stuff. Now you need to kind of live in a community or live in a group setting with different other animals, right? Okay, this is the basis of her teaching right here, right? She bases everything on this. All right, so I broke it down. Here's some basic needs, right? You need nourishment. You need food, right? You need nourishment. You need food. You need sunlight. You need certain things. You need oxygen. You need things that's going to nourish your body. You need access to reproduction. Hold on now. Does everybody need to reproduce? No, they don't. You can still survive without reproducing, right? The community may not survive, but you as an individual can survive without reproducing. You need personal safety, right? You need to know that, hey, if you lay down to go to sleep, another animal's not going to come and try to eat you, right? Or any kind of violence is going to happen haphazardly to you, right? You need shelter. You need to be able to shelter yourself against the elements, right? You need waste management. You need a place to put your waste that's not going to endanger your daily living, right? And of course, you need homeostasis where your body is in balance, right? The necessary minerals in your body are in a balanced state where you're not over mineralized or under mineralized at a certain point, right? They call it a pH balance, right? You're supposed to have a pH balance where all of the stuff, all of the chemicals in your body have a certain balance that's viable for your body. Okay, let's move on. Rico. Communal relationships. Utility is the basis of any relationship between two or more bodies. What is going to be the gain or loss between two or more bodies when they interact with one another, right? You get in a relationship with someone else, you're going to have to relate to that person. What are they going to do for you? What are you going to do for them? What is it going to cost them to be in a relationship with you? What is it going to cost me to be in a relationship with you? These are things we have to, this is all things that are within any body. You take two bodies floating in outer space. They're going to act on each other. They don't have to touch each other. They're going to act on each other, right? We have the tides here on the planet Earth, right? Why do we have the tides? Because that is a gravitational pull that the moon is acting on us on this planet, and it pulls us, and the tides go in and goes out, right? Based on the moon. All right, after this is established, after utility is established, enhancements unique to each body can be added to a relationship. Okay, what are you going to do outside of the utility? Well, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna buy you nice things. I'm gonna wash your clothes. I'm gonna cook for you. I'm gonna have recreational sex with you. Whatever, right? We can enhance the utility that we give into the other person, as challenges, as well as we can challenge them, right? Hey, oh, by the way, you know what? I didn't tell you I was on. Okay, I didn't tell you, Frankie Lyman, right? I didn't tell you I was on heroin, right? By the way, but I still need you to be here, right? Which can shift the effectiveness of the shared utility. Utility should be shared between all bodies, coming as close to equally as possible for order to be maintained at a maximum. Okay, so the best way things gonna happen in a marriage or any relationship is if the utility is about even. That's what we all looking for, is somebody to be, I can utilize them as good as they can utilize me. Then it's kind of even. Then we say that probably is a good relationship, right? A bad relationship is when the utilization is a gap there. There's a big gap in utilization. I'm doing everything, you not doing nothing. So that is what we would consider a bad relationship. All right, let's get into lesbian heaven. Rick, are you still there? I think Rico fell asleep. All right, in lesbian heaven. Oh,
I'm listening to all your damn mumbo jumbo.
You may remove that. Okay, I'll move that. Let me see. Let me go back to what I was talking about. Let me leave Rico alone. Rico's okay. This is lesbian heaven. Now, this is according to everything I've heard her say. The women live in this zone here, and everyone else lives out here in this zone. You guys got it so far? The men are out here, the women are in here, right? All right. Let's see. In Lesbian Heaven, you have the men. You have the men, and you have an alpha male. Among these men, you have the alpha males, right? You have an alpha male, excuse me, according to her, right? So you have the women here in Lesbian Heaven. They living in harmony, right? Everything's great. They have an alpha woman governor. The alpha woman governor gives the orders to the alpha male. The alpha male delivers those orders from the lesbian queen to the other males, and they do the bidding in this thing, right? They need a house built. The other males get the order to go build a house. They need plumbing. The other males get the order to do the plumbing. They need electrical. The other males come in, but they leave at the end of the day or whatever. I don't know, whatever period, they leave after their work is done, right? They leave the lesbian heaven with the women living in harmony, right? All right, let's see. Okay, so the alpha male gets his orders, and he delivers those orders through the threat of violence to the other males. Now, this is based on what she has said out of her mouth. This is Lesbian Heaven. All right, this is the outer ring of Lesbian Heaven, right? Okay, Lesbian Heaven. The alpha male will keep the constant threat of violence against other males to keep the lesbian heaven in order. The males will not rebel against the society because of the fear of the alpha male. This is according to her. This is according to her. I'm just laying it out. The other males will see some sort of relevance and or utility to participate in and keep this arrangement to continue. Why are they going to do this? See, that's another issue that I have with her. Why would any of the men do this? The only one that's actually getting anything out of it is the alpha male, who's probably has some type of, he's probably getting some type of gratuity for keeping the order. Other than that, why would any of these other guys do this? Right? Somehow, mating rights will be assigned based on some sort of criteria. There's going to be some criteria, right? Are you the fastest? Are you the strongest? Are you the, what? Are you the best looking? Whatever, right? Some type of criteria will be set up so that mating rights can be assigned to particular males. With no utility for the other males, they will somehow protect this order. I can't understand it, right? These men are not getting nothing out of it, right? Why would they protect it? Why would they protect and stay in line with this order? Anyway, this is her version. This is based on everything I've heard her say about Lesbian Heaven. This is how it's going to go. They're going to protect and fight and go through some type of rites of passage to be granted more access to the females with no guarantee of sex. Ouch. Ouch. The other males will not overthrow Lesbian Heaven at the behest of the lesbian queen, right? For whatever reason, the alpha male is going to be able to keep all these other males in line and to protect Lesbian Heaven. I don't know why. It doesn't make no sense to me. I wish you could answer that question. The question, what do the other males get out of this society? Why should they do this? Why would any man do this? It's absolutely ridiculous. When you have access now, it's just, do you have access to the type of woman you want? You may not have access to the type of woman you want, but you have access to women. In this society, you won't have access to no women. Yikes. What do lesbian followers get out of this? What do the lesbians get out of this? Well, they get to be with the woman, I guess the woman of their dreams. But anyway, at that point, they're going to have to be a hierarchy of choosing in the lesbian heaven. What are they going to do? How are they going to choose who gets to have sex in that community? Dr. Malachi York, and Jim Jones, the criteria was, I like you, and you only gonna have sex with me, right? And typically how cults work, right? Typically how cults work. At some point, the cult leader is the one that everybody has to have sex with, right? Well, we can't call her a cult yet. She don't have a compound yet, right? What happens when weapons are developed that might mitigate size and speed? In other words, the alpha male might be the biggest and the fastest and the strongest and all of that. What happens when weapons start getting developed that mitigate that size, that speed? Then what? Are the other males going to still stay in line with the lesbian heaven? I don't know. How will the alpha male maintain order at that point? At that point, how you gonna maintain order? It's like we was talking about earlier, man. In the Bible, it says, your enemies will, at a certain point, your enemies will encompass you. If you have enough dissatisfaction, that's all you need is 33.33% dissatisfaction, and that's it. The society will fall. Ask the Romans, ask the Greeks, ask the Egyptians, ask the Ethiopians. What happens when dissatisfaction is at 33.33% or more? How will the alpha male hold off the other men, right? Other males, right? A lot of times in the past, they don't even see a revolt coming. They don't even see it coming because they think everybody's happy with the situation. Okay, Rico, what's going to happen to these young males in lesbian heaven, right? They have all the children in lesbian heaven, right? And this outer ring out here, they have the children. Excuse me, in the inner ring in here, they have the children in there, right? What happens to the young males? Well, they're gonna inject the young males into where the men go, right? I guess they just throw them out at 6, 7, 8 years old. They just dump them in here, right? What happens to old guys like us, Rico? We get pushed out, right? Older non-functioning males ejected from the society into the abyss, right? They do like the Eskimos, right? They put you on that little ice. They cut out a piece of ice, stick you on that ice, and shove you out into the ocean. But this is going to be the slave replenishment cycle, right? They're going to replenish the slaves by kicking the old ones out, injecting the new ones in, having them adopt this philosophy, stay here, live a while. Then when they get old and not functional, they get ejected from the society, right? What happens to the older men? They get pushed out. What happens to the young men? They get pushed in, right? We don't know what age, 6, 7, 8. We don't know, right? The women of lesbian heaven have no problems because they are heavily insulated from the greater male population. See, they're insulated in here. The slave males do all the heavy lifting for lesbian heavens for some reason to provide all needs outside of recreational sex, right? At the threat of the alpha male, at the threat of violence from the alpha male, other males will work. This is according to her. According to her. Leadership hierarchy for lesbian heaven. She said there's going to be a council of elders. There's going to be an alpha male that actually gives the orders. Now, why would this alpha male even do this in the first place? Well, there's obviously going to be some gratuity somewhere, right? He ain't going to do this for nothing, right? There's going to be the bottom females, right? In here in lesbian heaven, right? They don't really do none of the laws or make none of the laws or anything like that. They just follow. They just follow the society. The alpha male who keeps the other males in line with fear, right? Fear of violence, I guess, right? According to her. This is not, Clarence, why do you say that? That's not, this is what she said. This is me putting together what she has said. The slave males do all the heavy lifting for lesbian heaven for some reason to provide all needs outside of recreational sex. Now, this is actual lesbian heaven, right? Actual lesbian heaven. Alpha damaged female gives the actual orders to others, right? The council of damaged, incompetent female sexual selector, right? They have a council of women that have been hurt, right? The bottom damaged, incompetent female sexual selectors, they're there. And then the police state. This is in the actuality, it's going to be, it's like for right now, she's going to have a compound. She's going to have a council. She's going to start out with a council. The bottom damaged, the regular rank and file incompetent female, and then the police state that's going to keep the other males in line, right? They're going to be able to have law. They're going to use the law system to protect their compound, right? David Koresh, what's his name? Jim Jones, Dr. York, and so on and so forth, right? All right. Lesbian heaven compound encompasses the damaged females and keeps them away from the society, right? This is lesbian heaven in here. The police state protects the damaged females and provides access to men, run the society so that many of their desires and needs can be realized, right? So there's going to be a corridor. There's going to be a corridor to get to the men, and have only selected men be able to come in and do whatever they need to do, right? Whatever they want. Recreational sex, breeding, build a home, build a house, build whatever, right? Men in certain power positions may be given access to certain females to pay the price for protection, right? Remember what I talked about, man? This alpha male is going to there's going to be some gratuity there. He ain't going to just do this for nothing, right? He got to win some kind of way, right? The foolish slave males do everything they can to appeal to the damaged females to be granted access to them for recreational sex, right? So they do whatever they need to do. Some of them will abide by this system, thinking that at some point they will get access to sex. Just like the friend zone guy, right? The guy that's crying on his shoulder guy, that guy, right? He thinks, I just let her cry on my shoulder. At some point, she'll say, you know what? You're the man. I need to let you come in and, booty clap sounds, right? All right, so the actual lesbian heaven, the damaged women of lesbian heaven have no problems. They have no problems. They're heavily insulated from the greater population. The slave males do all the heavy lifting, and they do all the heavy lifting. Conclusion: lesbian heaven will never work practically but the effect of a compound will be a positive for the outer society. Yeah, we get these people that have the most problems that don't want a solution for them. We'll get them out. We'll get rid of them. Princella's gonna drop them off at the lesbian camp, lesbian heaven. No real reason for people to switch and submit to this complicated and unreasonable paradigm. It's complicated and unreasonable, and it is against civilization. It's not against nature. It's against civilization. And we as people are supposed to be civilized, right? That's our natural state. The fact is that we do need a place for damaged females that do not want to do their work to regain their joy. They do need protection from males and females that wish to take advantage of them, and that protection is best in the form of recognizing character flaws and responding to them for self-preservation, right? All right, that is it, y'all. That is it. We are done. What do you think about that, Rico? Thank you.
It's just as crazy as her ass is. You had fun doing that, didn't you? I said, I am not going to interrupt you. You had fun doing such a silly exercise.